Hi, happy Wednesday. It's Mystic Mandy with Queen of Cups Tarot. We are coming up on a Gemini full moon. I believe that starts December 4th. So the energies have been really heavy. They've been heavy for me, they've been heavy for everyone. I have so many people coming to me just saying, like, I'm depressed. And, like, girl, me too. It's tough. I before I get into the reading, I just want to talk about the fact that, spiritual workers are still humans. I think that many people expect us to have complete mastery over our feelings and not have problems in our lives and not have hardships and not have relationship problems and not have financial problems. But we are people. And I think about what comes to mind is like the Witch of the Woods, like the village mystics, like they never had wealth and they didn't have physical health. A lot of them, in movies, they have canes and they're like hunched over and like I very much identify with the Witch of the Woods persona. That is me. I'm very fortunate and I'm very grateful, and that was another thing that I was guided to talk about is gratitude, because when we aren't grateful for like the little things, like I'm so grateful for this cup. I needed a cup. I found a cup. I didn't have to pay for it. I was really fortunate in finding a cup. It's not just a cup. Yesterday I finally obtained a crock pot. I had been trying to manifest a crock pot for months. I have physical disabilities and I have a fixed income, right? So I can't just go carry a crock pot from somewhere, even a thrift store. They're heavy, and oftentimes, and budget wise, I couldn't really budget one, and definitely not a brand new one. Well, yesterday I finally scored one for free, and so like that's double blessing, right? Not only did I just get the crock pot, it's a nice one, and I got it for free. It's secondhand, but it's free. Like hell yeah. Pretty much everything that I have in my apartment that I needed to gather, I manifested it by putting the intention out there, and it came to me either free or just within my budget. This is an important message for somebody. When you aren't grateful for like every little tiny thing, and I know sometimes people hear me talking about gratitude and they get insulted and they're like, do you think that I'm not grateful? And I'm like, no, I absolutely don't think that. I don't think that anyone's ungrateful. I think that people take things for granted. Even I do it. We all do it. And so, because we take things for granted, we miss out on the blessings that are handed our way. And sometimes those blessings can even be like messages from spirit to let us know to keep going. Like that crock pot. I'm going through some hard stuff in my life right now, a lot of grief. This past year, 2 years, 3 years has been hard. And this last year has been beautiful, but it's been difficult, and I have experienced a lot of loss, but I've gained a lot. Like, but if I had not remained grateful, first of all, I wouldn't have the things that I have. And if I don't remain grateful for like every little thing, then I don't see when I'm being blessed, and I miss the message. Um, but the crock pot came in yesterday, and it really felt like Spirit was telling me we do love you and you are supported, because there's a lot of ways that I'm not feeling supported right now. And I'm going through a period of learning to love myself again, learning to be content with myself again. And in the process, I'm experiencing for myself, and I'm going to be vulnerable here. I think it's important in my practice to share my experiences because they help others. Um, Feeling alone at the end of the day. I love to do what I do. It helps me heal. Healing other people helps me. Passing on messages to other people and helping them solve their problems helps me. I don't do it just because I want to get something out of it, but I heal through healing others, and I believe that we all do. Um, but I'm struggling. So that crock pot came through to let me know that I am not alone, that I am supported, that Spirit hears me They hear me. And the universe hears me and is sending my blessings. So if you have received anything free or at low cost, or maybe you had to pay for it, but you've been looking for it forever and you've been saving up for it forever, but you're finally able to do it, that would be a message from Spirit letting you know that all the things that you're asking for are coming in and that you are on the right path. So, with further ado, it's time to get into the messages. These are general readings. They are not meant to be individual readings. If you would like a personal reading, you may book one with me. I do them by donation pay. They are pay what you can, so I expect some form of payment, but I want you to just pay what you can. I don't want to take from others what they don't have. But this is an energy exchange. So with that being said, if you would like to donate, that helps support this channel. I am working on manifesting the equipment. I could definitely use a microphone and other things. It helps me pay for decks. I just got a couple new decks, and it just helps keep this channel going. So if you can donate or you can book a reading, then it helps me because I do need to eat. Thank you. These messages are general messages. They are not for everybody. If something does not resonate for you, I say take what resonates and file what doesn't resonate for later. There have been so many times that people didn't think my messages made sense in the time, and they were like, that didn't really resonate, and I thought you were wrong, and I reserve the right to be wrong, but because I'm a human being, and I can misinterpret the messages that I'm given, sure. Anybody can. To expect someone to not to always be 100% accurate on everything is unreasonable of psychics. But take what resonates, file what doesn't for later, because you never know when it's going to come through. I've had people come back to me and be like, hey, Mandy, I didn't think that was true at first, but it happened, and thanks to you, I was able to handle it my way, or the way that benefits me. Because I will never give someone bad advice. I will never tell you to do the wrong thing. You may not agree with what I say, or it may not be what you want to hear at the time, but the advice that I give you is solid, and it is not my personal opinion. It is my professional opinion and the message from Spirit. You will hear me say I think and I feel because this is what my interpretation is, but it is not my actual personal view. So with that being said, I'm going to get into the messages. I'm going to do the Beast Soul Oracle cards again. We're going to start doing those, I think, daily, just to kind of set the mood for the day. Spirit, what message do you have? What is our focus for today? What is our collective focus for today? What is our collective focus for today? Please give me one card. And okay, that's not the card. I need to get those out of the deck. That's the last one. Okay, I got to. Let's hope I don't fall out of the chair this time. Okay. Enjoy the... Okay, you can't make this up. What was I saying about being grateful about every little thing? Well, I got Naughty Otter. Positivity, imagination, playfulness. Enjoy the simple things in life. I said it. Be grateful for the little things. Gratitude is enjoyment. Wise Owl, wisdom, perception, and discipline. Make a wish to the moonlight and find darkness. So let's elaborate on make a wish to the moonlight and find darkness. We are on a full moon. That is a good time. I tell my clients that, because I practice spell work too, that it's good to set the intentions in the new moon and work it all the way up to the full moon. But the full moon is when you can often see manifestations coming through. I absorb all the power of the full moon and I work it the rest of the moon cycle so that my stuff will come in on the full moon. So I need to take a breath. Make a wish to the moonlight and find darkness. That's looking at what's hidden. People have such a negative opinion of darkness. Darkness is not bad. Darkness is just the things that you can't see. Not everything that's hiding in the dark is negative either. Sometimes there's really good information in the dark, and sometimes there's beautiful things. So I think that where I'm going to direct this reading is what's hiding in the darkness. I'm not going to use my new deck. I'm going to use my Moonlight deck. What is hiding in the darkness? That just seems right. The Moonlight Moonlight Garden Tarot deck seems right for what's hiding in the darkness that we're supposed to look for. What's hiding in the darkness? What's hiding in the darkness? What's hiding in the... Oh, that's too many cards, Spirit. What's hiding in the darkness? What's hiding in the darkness? Okay, that's a lot of cards, but I'm going to take them. So we have the Queen of Cups, which I'm Queen of Cups Tarot. Nine of Cups. Ooh. Judgment. King of Swords. Eight of Pentacles. So the Queen of Cups, we're going to go with this, start with this first. This is someone who has reached emotional mastery. Obviously, with a queen, she could be a person, and it's going to be a more feminine energy, but feminine doesn't mean woman, and masculine doesn't mean men. It just means feminine and masculine. You can take that how it resonates. Also, as most readers say, I'm also going to say that the roles might be reversed. Oh, I'm having a headache today, you guys. The show must go on. I don't know if someone else is having a headache or neck ache or anything either. I could be picking up on someone else's energy, but I felt like I needed to mention it because it could be a message, the fact that it hasn't gone away. The Queen of Cups is emotionally mature. She is intuitive. She listens to her intuition. She listens to what her gut tells her. She nurtures people. She's kind. She approaches situations with love and compassion. The Nine of Cups is wish fulfillment. What was the topic from the beginning about gratitude and manifestations coming in? Judgment, I'm going to clarify because it always has a lot of meanings, and for some reason this card just never sticks with me, and I've been reading since I was 15 and I'm 41 now. Why is judgment here? Why is judgment here? Why is judgment here? Why is it here? I'm seeing the full moon in each and every one of these cards, and the moonlight is talked about in the affirmation card. So like I've been saying, and it's come through in a couple other readings, judgment and the lovers. Something about the full moon, something around the full moon, something is going to manifest. It may not be this full moon. It could be the next one because I have the King of Swords here too, and that's an air. So before we go further into the Judgment card, I am going to get the King of Swords, and I'm going to have to clarify the King of Swords as well. The King of Swords here, he is a master of thought. I'm hearing manipulation, master of manipulation. Manipulation doesn't have to be bad, but most people use manipulation for negative things. Communication, but he is very silent here. He's not talking. That's significant. This is about someone's truth, someone not telling you the truth of the situation. You're going to get your answers by making a wish and venturing into the darkness and finding the darkness. Yeah, I look up at the deck and I have the Ace of Swords, and I also have the Two of Swords, and I'm not going any further because I have a lot of face-up cards and that's just too many, but these two were very significant to me and together. So the Two of Swords and the Ace of Swords. The Two of Swords is stagnation. It's not making a decision because you don't have all the information, or because you can't see what's going on around you, or because you're refusing to make a decision. You're refusing to see the truth. And to have that come with the Ace of Swords really, really speaks to me, because the Ace of Swords is a card of truth. It's about cutting past the BS to get to the matter of the situation, speaking your truth. He's silent. He's not talking. Tell me more about this king. Tell me more about this king. Tell me more about this king. Five of Swords. That is a card of dishonesty and retreat. That is a card of someone not giving you the full scope of the situation. This is a continuation of the readings that have been going on for the last few days. More and more information is getting uncovered each day. Even when I try to redirect the readings, this is what the focus seems to be. This is telling me that this is interfering with your life. This situation with this person is impacting your life. You're not able to live your life with this person doing what they're doing. And they're probably not going to stop. The Ace of Swords is talking for them. Cut them off. Let them go. There, with so many swords in here, swords represent thoughts and communication, like I said. They also represent legal issues, but this is about thoughts. This is about overthinking the situation is not where you're going to find the answers. In the darkness, we have, so your wish is there. It's there in the darkness. Eight of Pentacles is also here. That is a card of work and mastery and putting in the work. This person's not putting in the work. And they're not even talking. There is no communication right now. And honestly, I think that's probably for the best. It is in my situation because, like I told you yesterday, some of these readings are affecting my own life. And I'm a part of the collective, so why not? So the Judgment card was what I found also in the darkness. And the Judgment card, when I clarified it, I came out with the Lovers. And the Lovers is a card about choices. So the Judgment card to me is literal. It's in the literal sense of using your judgment. Your best judgment is going to be in the darkness. How do we tap into this darkness? How do we tap into this darkness? How do we tap into this darkness? We're going into 17 minutes. I'm trying to keep these readings 15 minutes or less. I'm not going to start doing extended versions and stuff until things get busier for me in the channel. So we're just going to go. You can pause it at any time and go back to it. How do we get to the darkness? How do we get to that darkness? How do we look there? How? So the Ten of Pentacles is a card of financial fulfillment and completion, but it's a card of legacy. Legacy to me, it's also my ancestor card. It's my, you have to talk to your ancestors, but also it's within us. That's what it's saying. It's been passed down to us. This darkness is already there. We're already there. We're avoiding it. We're avoiding it. How do we stop avoiding it? You're fighting it. See the Page of Swords? He's also an immature person that doesn't communicate. He stalks. He watches, but he is actually fighting, and I feel like this is resistance coming from within ourselves because, like I said, with the Legacy card, you're fighting it. Look, I understand when you've met somebody that you love and you care about, and you know that person is meant for you. You can tell when someone's your person. You know, even if they're not your person forever, you know. You just know. And the Lovers does indicate that a person is a person who you are deeply connected to, but you're not making the choice that you need to make because you don't want to see the situation for what it is. And it's going to be different from everyone, but if I look at all the cards that I've pulled and all the readings I've done for the last week revolving around the situation, the person that you are in love with, I have to just be honest, the person that you are in love with, and I had to be honest with myself, they do love you. It's been said that they're trying to make their way back to you, but they're going to take forever. It is going to take a long time, and I was talking about this yesterday, and the continuance is here. Stop focusing on it. Cut it off. Put that space. You don't have to cut it off forever if you don't want to. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying don't ever talk to them again. I'm saying put an end to it, because one thing that you need to realize is that we have a choice. You're giving this person too much power in the situation by sticking around. You can choose to pull away too. And probably the minute that you do, they're going to come running back. Prepare yourself for that, because they're probably not serious yet. They're not there yet. The message is very clear. In my situation, that person told me to. They're just not there. I had to accept that. I had to decide what I wanted to do with that. They put the ball in my court. They were hoping that I would stick around regardless of how they treat me. Because to them, that's the idea of loyalty. That's not loyalty. You can't be more loyal to somebody than you are to yourself. Be loyal to yourself. No person is more important to you than you. Because at the end of the day, who do we have? Ourselves. Nobody is going to be stuck with us for the rest of our lives besides ourselves. That is something that I always used to say growing up, that people would be like, okay. And I'd be like, I'm the only person that's stuck with me at the end of the day. I have to be okay with me. You have to be okay with you. Do you feel like you are okay with yourself waiting around for a person that's not coming anytime soon? They may be coming. They say they're coming. They say be patient. They say just wait. As they dilly-dally and dawdle. And what are you doing with your life? You're not getting out. I know I had to get out. I started getting out. I started doing stuff. So I'm at the baby stages of this too. And I'm being guided to share that I'm experiencing this situation too, because I just think that, and Spirit agrees, that people want someone they can relate to. And if I don't share my experiences, then people aren't going to understand that I understand. I'm being called to finish this up now with some affirmations, so I'm going to do that. These affirmations are meant to help you get through this hard time. Spirit, what affirmations does the collective need? What affirmations does the collective need to get through this situation? Or even just a day. Today I will breathe. I want to do one more. Give me one more, please. Okay, they gave me two. In my mind, when I said give me two and they gave me three, I thought, you guys never give me what I asked for, and I heard you get what you get. You get what you get. That could be that person's attitude as well, that you get what you get from me. I'm not giving you any more than I want. That's why you have to realize that you have choices in the matter too. If this person is not going to give you what you want or what you need from the situation, and they have made that clear, and remember that no response is a response. No communication is a response. Something that I had to reflect on was that this person is okay with not being in your life. Not being, you removing your presence from me removing my presence from the situation didn't really affect them. What does that say about their commitment to the situation? This is not about your self-worth, and this is not about their love for you or their lack of love for you. This is about their commitment to the situation. They're not committing. And they're making it clear that that is how they're going, and that you get what you get. So with that, we have these affirmations. Today I will breathe. Today, as I face challenges, I will call a mental timeout. I will consciously breathe with my eyes closed and focus on slowing my inhalation and exhalation. I was talking about silencing your mind and not overthinking and getting out of thought. That thought is not solving the problem. You have to get into the spaces, the darkness, the stuff that you don't know. And you can't do that, Spirit's saying, by overthinking. This is talking about taking time out to breathe and clear your mind. Today, I feel worthy. What did I say 2 minutes ago about this is not about your worth? This isn't about your worth. Today, I feel worthy. Today, I will accept all the wonderful things in this life. You are worthy of more. You're worthy of respect, attention, being a priority. Their lack of involvement does not have anything to do with your value and your worth. There is nothing wrong with you, it's them. He even told me that. He said, I am not that you are not the problem, it is me. He said that a few weeks ago for my situation. He's right. He's right. I'm not taking responsibility for this because I know I have done everything I can to be good to him. I'm sure that people watching this in their situations that are similar also feel this way. That you're like, I've done everything I can. What more can I do? We can't love people into commitment. We can't love people into loving us. We can't love people into showing us that they love us. And at the root of this, honestly, there's probably a person that doesn't love themselves, doesn't care about themselves, isn't taking care of themselves. They can't love you like you want to be loved. They can love you like they love. But if someone doesn't love themselves, they don't. It's not that, people say, oh, love, nobody can love you if you don't love yourself. No, you can't properly love other people if you don't love yourself. And that goes for them too. Today, I am at peace. Today, I am at peace with all that has happened, all that is happening, and all that will happen. Radical acceptance. Radical acceptance is something that I learned in therapy. I do therapy. Radical acceptance is something a part of manifestations too. And I think this person is in the way of our manifestations. This person's going to be a different person for everybody. Mostly it's a romantic situation. And it's the same situation that's cropping up over and over again in the readings. And it's not just about me, even though I can relate to. And I think it's important that I don't just sit with a straight face and act like I'm not part of the story too, because I'm part of the collective. We all are. So the energy is heavy right now. I do expect that after the full moon, it's going to get a little bit better. We had Mercury in retrograde for several weeks going through Scorpio and Sagittarius, and those are heavy, heavy energies, especially Scorpio. Scorpio brings transformation. You have to decide if you're going to transform for the positive or for the negative. And I think that this person needs to just be put on the back burner like they do to us. Screw them. Don't make them a priority. Cut them off. If they come running back the minute you cut them off, every time you do that, I think there's a message in that as well. And at first I thought, oh, maybe we're meant to be. But again, meant to be is not meant to be forever. And just because things are on a pause does not mean that they have to be permanently paused. So keep that in mind as I wrap this up. I hope you guys have a beautiful day. I will see you tomorrow. All things, if I can get in tomorrow, I'll drop another reading tomorrow. If you would like a private reading and you watch this to the end, email me. My email is in the description, and I drop my donation information as well. I hope you have a beautiful day, and I hope this message helped. Thank you. Bye.